Hello everyone, here Todd. I'm going to mention week by week, give you a recap highlights of what happens on the challenge. Season 41, folks, is right. The new challenge is on the air on TV. It started this week, and 41 starts off with the host TJ giving interviews to all the new participants, the new rookies. And he's doing it kind of like a police station setup where you can see that plexiglass and all the pros like CT, Carl Maria, Narnia, Bananas, Derek, Olivia. They're watching behind that glass as he delivers interviews to the rookies. He's asking what's your strengths, what's your weaknesses, so the pros can see, okay, I don't want to partner up with that person, or I don't want to partner up with that one in case there's a team, or hey, if it's pros versus rookies, we got it made. We take out these people first, leave the weakest on the team. Because they don't know yet if it's going to be team versus team or partnership, right? Then after the last person interviewed, TJ now sends them to the location. And they think they're all going to move into the house, right? Pick the bedrooms out, party it up for the first time. Nope. First time ever, challenge history. There's a challenge before you get to the house. That's cool. And TJ's as you can see behind me, there's a mountain that's 5,000 feet up in the air. On the other side of that mountain is where you guys are going to be staying at in the condo. He says, so now, they're the 10 pros, the 10 rookies. You guys going to hike up top of that mountain, hike all the way back down the other side. Now, he said it's going to be partnership. 2 teams of 2 going at it. And the way it works is in the finale, there's going to be so many teams. I'm not going to say how many teams are going to want in the finale. He said it could be 6 teams, it could be 4 teams, it could be 3 teams. But you have to make it with your partner to the end in the finale. And he said, and I'll let you know next week how much you're going to be competing for. Lately it's been for $1 million and they split it in half and stuff like that. Or last year was 6 people made it to the finale and they split the $1 million in a 6-way split. So he said, now the order of how you make it to the top of the mountain back down to the condo is the order you get to pick your partner. And for the first time ever, pros not only can pick rookies can pick pros, depending on the order you make it down the mountain to the condo. And he said, and it's not a race, it's not a foot race. And so he sounds the horn, the challenge takes off. Well, Johnny Bananas and Turbo realize, what's the rush of making it first? Yeah, okay, we might not get the coolest rooms, right? We can see how the other rookies perform as they're hiking up the top of the mountain back down the other side. See who gets exhausted first, who quits and can't do it, who's struggling, who's not struggling, and they can pick them as the partner. CT and Vanessa, the other pros, hear Bananas Tobo figuring this out, planning this. And they got the same concept. So they decided to purposely come in last so they could watch everybody else perform. That's smart thinking right there. Well, I'm going to try my best to pronounce his name. His new guy. It's a rookie. Verhermia, something. He came in first and he made it down there an hour and so many minutes. And everybody was shocked at how fast he hiked to the top of the mountain back down the other side. So of course he picked the coolest room in the condo, right? And he said, I know I didn't have to go that fast, but I want to show my strengths. He said, I'm an Olympic runner. I do track and field, stuff like that all my life. I run marathons, so he could run fast, right? So he said that, and the other pros could see I get to pick first, so I could pick a pro. Or, he said, I could pick a pro. He said, or I could do this. He said, I could pick a pro that I want to take it to the finale with me to win. Or I could take a pro that I don't like and purposely eliminate them. So apparently, he really don't care about the money if he's talking about that. And then he laughs and smirks and laughs at it. So he's just saying, I'm just joking with you. I actually want the money. So he said, now I get first crack at who to pick. That was funny. So everybody makes it down the bottom of the mountain eventually. And TJ shows up at the condo and says, okay, reads off the order of how the people arrived, and he said that's the order of the selection. He said, now everybody, party it up tonight. Do whatever you want. Next day, challenge number 2, we're going to party you up before the challenge. And now I'll explain more rules of the game. So he leaves, and CT, Johnny Bananas, Vanessa, Narnia, Carl Maria, they're talking, interacting with the new rookies, right? Like America, Blue, Jay, Gabe, Rogan, people like that. You know, it's like, hey, welcome, you know, like, we oversaw your guys' interrogation. We think you're going to be a cool partnering up with us, stuff like that. And Narnia tells everybody she has an announcement to make. Narnia and Casey, they were a married couple. They broke up last year. And Bananas knew about this because he's close friends with Narnia and Casey. But everybody else was shocked at this announcement. And Narnia said, look, me and Casey, we found each other on a season of the challenge. I haven't seen that season yet, but they first show up together. They fell in love. They got married. They adopted a kid. But she's like, all she said was last year, as she was on the show, season 40, Rivals. Like there was season 40, then Rivals, season 40, part 2. Something happened with Casey at home with the kid, or something that she said. I'm not getting into details of what happened. All I know is she said it upset me. It physically broke my heart, she said, and we decided to go our separate ways and got a divorce. Did Casey maybe run around on Narnia behind her back? Was she having like a relationship with someone else that Narnia found out about while she was on Rivals last year? What caused the breakup? I like to know more. As a fan, right? I like to know what caused the breakup while she was on Rivals. And when she got home, she found out what happened with Casey and the adopted kid, and she ended up having to get a divorce with Casey, and they went their separate ways. Bananas knows what the real deal is, but he promised he won't tell no one. But it's Johnny Bananas. He purposely likes to stir the pot if it helps benefit him, so maybe he will let it slip what happened. And Bananas has another ally in the show this season, Evie, his good friend. So he said, look, the 3 of us team up again. We'll try and make it to the finals. And the rookies we pair up with will benefit from us. Learn that it's not all about winning challenges. Winning eliminations, about politicians like inside the game. It's more like creating alliances. Like, hey, this person said that about you, which they never really said, to get you to fight them and eliminate them. Which benefits us because they were a stronger competitor than we were. You know, like, basically, like Johnny Bananas said this season was, we could be the puppeteers, and everybody else be our puppets. Well, that might not work, guys. 8 of these contestants are from the United Kingdom, and they have banded together to create an alliance, the UK alliance, which is a mixture of pros and rookies. CT is having some drinks with Derek, and Derek last year, that guy, he suffered a leg injury. He damaged his leg, but he still toughed it out for about a week. But then he got sent into elimination because the person that picked to fight him in elimination knew that his leg was 100%, so it would be easy pickings, right? Well, he showed that guy, like, hey, I may not be 100%, but I can still kick your butt. They had an old school boxing match last year, which was 2 out of 3 rounds. If any of you ever saw the Ninja Turtles, Secret of the Ooze, part 2 of the awesome Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies ever. Remember the scene where that guy, I forget, he played one of the Ninja Turtles and he played himself in the movie as well. There was that scene where there was a mannequin with a whole bunch of bells on it, and they throw smoke grenades, and he had to take off as many bells as he could without making a sound. And Raphael helped him out. It's similar like that with the boxing match that happened last year on the challenge between Derek and the other guy. I apologize, I can't remember who. I think it was Theo. I might be wrong. It might be somebody else that went up against Derek. But they each had paint gun like packets on around the body, and 2 out of 3 rounds, boxing style. And the player that got busted the most of those pockets, that exploded the paint inside, stayed. Well, Derek gave it his all. At first, he was struggling because of his hurt leg. He was limping, hardly could put no weight on it. So the other guy was just going in, hammering him, breaking those packets. The second round, Derek was like a wild pit bull. Just went at the guy. He lost by a couple. Like, that was amazing to see his performance in the second round. So he tells CT, my leg's better. He said, look, we've been friends. We've been on this. We started the challenge together. He said, season 10 we're on it together. And some other seasons. You're like a 5-time winner. I'm like a couple-time winner. I think it's like 1 or 2-time winner. He said, this year I like to win a game. And CT said, I like to win too. So they have an alliance that they're going to work together with their rookies, whoever they get to select, or if one of the rookies selects them first, to make it to the finals. Tobo is allowed to be on this season, folks, because in case you don't know, Tobo and Jordan had issues in one of the seasons of the challenge. I haven't watched that one yet. And they got into fisticuffs. And when security separated them, Tobo sucker punched Jordan and got kicked off the show. And TJ made a rule that there's no physical confrontation, no physical fighting allowed on the show. So Tobo was never allowed to be on the challenge because Jordan was always on it. But last year's winner, Rachel and Jordan, and a couple of the other ones, decided they didn't want to compete this year. And Jordan had obligations elsewhere because he's now a NASCAR driver. Driving NASCAR, so he couldn't be there this season because of the scheduling conflict and that. So Tobo was allowed to come back because Jordan's not there. And of course Tobo is like cocky as heck. And he's just like telling everybody, I was like, send me elimination as many times as you want. Because that's his game plan throughout the years he's been on the show. He always likes to go into elimination so he can send a team home. That's how he thinks the game should be played. That's his strategy. And the rookie's like, I don't want to partner up with this guy if he wants to purposely get eliminated every single time go elimination. And possibly go be sent home. Like, they don't want to partner up with him. So, this is hilarious. Pro Rogan has an idea. He's like, you know what? I'm going to select my rookie. Whichever one of them, that's new on here, wants to sleep with me tonight. I'll choose you as my partner. That's his game plan. That was hilarious. So the next day, they get to where the challenge is happening, and TJ announces that, okay, it's time to partner up with people. So Venera, the new guy, he got to pick first, the rookie. He picked Evie, Giant Banana's ally. So Giant Bananas and Anania's like, that's a good pick because she's a friend of ours. He was amazing on that first challenge, hiking up to the top of the mountain, back down, getting there before anybody else for that quick time limit. Rogan, the rookie, picked Izzy, the pro. There's 2 Rogans. Rookie Candace selected Olivia. Olivia was like, okay, Candace, maybe I don't want to partner up with you, she said, because, listening to your strengths and weaknesses, you've got more weaknesses than you do strengths. Sydney picked Leroy. Rookie Jake picked Cara Maria, and this is the order, like how they came down the mountain. Will picked Machkia. Giant Bananas picked D. Adrian picked Rogan. And Rogan's like, oh man, I didn't even sleep with her last night. He slept with someone else, but this rookie likes him, so she picked him. That was hilarious. Tobo picked America. Ashley picked Will. But when Will walked up, she's like, you're not Will. And he says, yeah. She's like, no, I want him. And TJ's like, that's Gabe. So it's, can I make a repick? And TJ and now allowed it. So Will's like, seriously? Like, you didn't even want me? You wanted Gabe, but she got the names mixed up. Derek did not catch who he picked. I apologize for that. Now, Nanya picked Blue, who she wanted to pick for the beginning. Nanya picked Beth. Not Beth that nobody likes, a new Beth. Derek picked Blue. Tay picked CT. So CT was kind of shocked that he was the bottom of the totem pole, and he's like a legend on the challenge. He's won it the most times than anyone else. And he's like, seriously? Like, okay, I know I've gotten bigger, like not husky, like more huskier, but I can still go. I can still last a while. Leo picked Alicia, Vanessa, I mean. And the last two people was Pro Justin and Rookie Naya. And since nobody picked them, they automatically paired up. This CT then announced that behind me is the second challenge, which leads to the first ever elimination. But that will happen on next week's episode. And then it showed highlights coming up with the season. And apparently somebody cheats. Maybe more than one person, because that's the second rule of the challenge. No physical confrontation in the house. And no cheating whatsoever. Guys, it shows him bringing everybody on stage. And he said before the next challenge, he just goes like this, you, out. And it doesn't show who he points to. And they're like, everybody else is like shocked. And he says, I don't tolerate cheating. You know that. So, I wonder who cheated this season coming up and who gets kicked out. And it also shows, Johnny Bananas is falling in love with Rookie D. He actually started liking her. And Nadia and Eva is like, I don't know if that's going to work because of the apparent long-term distance thing between where they live at. And it shows like other rookies getting arguments with the pros. And it shows one team, I forget who it was, but he's like, you're not carrying your weight. I don't know why I picked you as a partner. And of course, Tobo mouths off like he does. And CT, I don't know who Tobo's mouthing off to in this room. But CT barges in and tells it as it is. And they beat the words out. So I can't wait to see that episode. And then it shows TJ saying, hey, it's time for a switch. And when he means that, throughout the challenge histories, that means free phase 1. It's no longer teams of 2. And it's back to rookies versus pros team battle. Or it can mean switching up partners, which no one would like to happen, because you can end up with someone you don't want. Or it can become every person for themselves. So instead of 2 winners, it's going to be 1 winner. He's done. That's the free ways the switch works. And I've yet to see it happen. Like, by read online, that's what he means by the switch. So I am curious. Is it going to be switch partners? Become every person for themselves? Or make it team versus team? Let me know below in the comments. What do you think TJ's switch is going to be this year? And who do you think is going to make it to the finale? Is it going to be a pro and a rookie no one's expecting? Or is it going to be a pro and a rookie everyone's expecting to make it? Will the UK alliance of 8 people make it to the finale? Well, from previous histories, previous episodes of the channels I've watched, alliances do okay. But then they break apart because of personal vendettas or arguments that break out. Or they just plain suck and they don't make it. And also, I am curious what CT and Tobo will get into. And it looks like it shows other cast members have to separate them. I can't wait for that episode. Stay safe, everybody. Too sweet. Bye.